1976. Medellin, Colombia. What will become one of the world's most vicious criminal organizations is born. The Medellin Cartel. The cartel will rise to dominate the world's cocaine market, killing as many as 50,000 along the way.
These are folks that have no compunction about murdering people to get what they want. There is no remorse. That's business.
The Medellin Cartel is led by several kingpins. The enterprising Ochoa brothers, paramilitary expert Jose Rodriguez Gacha, and Gustavo Gaviria, the cousin of the cartel's infamous boss of bosses, Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar could be a charismatic type person to get what he wanted. But he could turn evil in a heartbeat and you might be dead.
Escobar controls Medellin's bloodthirsty hitmen, known as sicarios. Their targets include law enforcement and government officials who are given a stark choice.
Very famous word established by Pablo Escobar, plata or plomo, bullet or money.
You either accept the bribe or you get killed. Anybody who went against Escobar would die.
August 18th, 1989, Soacha, Colombia. Presidential candidate Luis Carlos Galan, enemy of Pablo Escobar and the Medellin Cartel, takes the stage at a campaign rally.
Pablo's sicarios were there waiting on him. They shoot him there on stage. Several other people were wounded. They tried to get Luis Carlos Galan in a car to get him to the hospital, and he didn't make it through the night.
The Medellin Cartel then targets Galan's replacement, Cesar Gaviria, by putting a bomb on an airplane. Gaviria was not on board, but the bomb kills 110 people.
This absolutely terrified the nation, and the support for Escobar, if there was any, was really weakening with how he was killing everybody indiscriminately.
Fueled by public anger, Gaviria wins the 1990 election in a landslide. And now, the Colombian government is out for blood, systematically going after the Medellin Cartel's leaders. December 15th, 1989. Cartel kingpin Jose Rodriguez Gacha is killed during a police operation. A few months later, Gustavo Gaviria is gunned down in a shootout. The Ochoa brothers go into hiding. With the Medellin Cartel leadership crumbling, Pablo Escobar makes a surprising move.
Pablo Escobar calls up the governor of Colombia and says, Mr. President, this is Pablo Escobar, and I am willing to self-surrender.
In exchange for not being extradited, Pablo Escobar agrees to serve 5 years in prison with certain conditions.
He will imprison himself in his own prison, built and protected by his own people.
It was no prison. It was a country club atmosphere where Pablo had his own apartment, had his color-coordinated curtains, giant TVs. He was living in luxury.
The government got a political cushion where they felt they had put a bad guy in jail. And Pablo got the ability to continue his business, live the way he wanted, and most importantly, if he served his term, he was free.
But when Pablo Escobar takes advantage of his light prison sentence, the country comes after him and the cartel. July 22nd, 1992, Envigado, Colombia. Less than a year into his prison sentence, Pablo Escobar savagely murders 2 associates at his custom-built jail. President Gaviria orders him to be moved to a state prison. But with the help of his sicarios, Escobar escapes. December 1st, 1993. Without any money and his cartel in shambles, Pablo Escobar spends his 44th birthday in a safe house, hidden somewhere in Medellin. His gift to himself is to stay on the phone with his family, allowing American intelligence to pinpoint the neighborhood where Escobar is hiding.
We're starting to intercept his phone calls. Escobar would talk to his son every day at 5 o'clock. And by now, they're starting to hone in on Pablo Escobar.
The next day, the Colombian police flood the neighborhood with a full-scale ground search. Then, in a second-floor window of a house, they spot Escobar, virtually alone.
When Escobar was finally located, we expected him to have a full army. He was down to 1. That shocked everybody.
A shootout ensues between the bodyguard and authorities as Escobar flees across the rooftop of his hideout. He is shot dead by police.
The death of Pablo Escobar marked the end of the Medellin Cartel. And it's the first time that an entire cocaine production and distribution cartel had been completely dismantled and eliminated.